y'all? It is your girl, Britt. Welcome to another episode of Run It Back with Britt. I am your host, Britt Johnson. Make sure you follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Do not forget to like this video, click subscribe, join my notification gang, and yeah, all that fun stuff. Are you guys ready? Because I have a full-packed show for you today, and I get to start talking about football. The NFL draft is right around the corner, which means we have OTAs, we have rookie mini camp, all of the fun stuff coming back in action. But we might be missing a bunch of players in the process. That is right, guys. NFL teams are boycotting OTAs. Now, a little refresher in case you don't know, OTAs are not mandatory, but a lot of players do have in their contracts that if they attend OTAs, they get bonuses and stuff like that for workouts. So this is huge for some of these players because they are opting to not go to OTAs and lose out on that money because they are really upset. So on Tuesday, the NFLPA announced that the Broncos would be the first team as an entire unit to decide they are not attending OTAs. The Seahawks, the Bucks, Patriots, and Lions both recently joined the movement, and they all have pretty much released statements. The Denver Broncos statement was the first one released, so I'll read a little bit of that one because all of them basically mimic this. Playing in the NFL is a dream of our players who work tirelessly year-round to perform in America's greatest game. With off-season programs starting in less than a week and without adequate protocols in place in order for us players to return safely, we will be exercising our right to not participate in voluntary off-season workouts. COVID-19 remains a serious threat to our families and communities, and it makes no sense for us as players to put ourselves at risk. So that kicked everything off, and then the NFL released a statement basically saying that all Tier 1 and Tier 2 employees, other than the players of course, should be expected to be vaccinated unless they have a bona fide medical or religious ground not to do so. If they don't get vaccinated, they basically will have very limited to no access to the players during that time, and they'll be restricted from football-only activities. Part of the CBA that the owners have with the players is the players do not have to get vaccinated, but the NFL is basically saying that they are going to have programs for the players and their families to become educated about the vaccinations. The players who do get vaccinated will have relaxed protocols that they have to follow compared to the players who don't get vaccinated. On Wednesday, the NFL came out and basically said that they were going to do more to make sure the players are safe, blah, blah, blah. But the NFLPA comes back and says, actually, you didn't address anything that we needed you guys to do to be safe in order to play football or to do these OTAs or whatever you are asking us to do that's voluntary anyway, for us to want to come. So yeah, that's basically where we stand right now. I'm sure more teams will join the bunch and decide that they are not going to be participating in OTAs before the NFL finally decides to get it right. We shall see. But all I gotta say is kudos to the players. I love y'all speaking up for yourselves and making sure you and your families are good. Speaking of speaking up for yourself, this next one is hilarious because it is two grown men getting into a Twitter battle with each other. So it started early in the week when Shannon Sharpe basically said a quote that Kevin Durant said, and the quote said this: "People try to discredit my rings, but honestly, I feel like they're the most valuable of our era. People argue LeBron James is the GOAT, but if I beat him in back-to-back finals, then what does that make me?" So Shannon said this on the show. Kevin Durant did not say this. This is not a actual quote from Kevin Durant. So here we enter into the Twitter realm of going back and forth. So Kevin Durant says, "Y'all drunk uncle out here lying again. When did I say this, Shannon Sharpe?" And then Shannon Sharpe responds by saying this: "Y'all remember the fake account when KD said, 'Now everybody wanna play for the Heat and Lakers. Let's go back to being competitive and going at these people.' Then joins 73-9 Warriors and builds Nets into a superpower with Kyrie and Harden. OMG." And these two are literally going back and forth. It's like ping pong. I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, watching their freaking Twitter accounts. And then finally, we get to the end of the road. Kevin Durant posts this, but I'm sensitive. And yes, Shannon Sharpe has blocked Kevin Durant on social media. I mean, what are you gonna do when two grown men are literally getting into a Twitter beef? Like, hilarious, right? Now, I usually like to keep this show upbeat and fun, but I cannot have this show complete this week without mentioning Dante Wright, who was murdered by the police, and he was only 20 years old. It's horrible. I can go into it. I know a lot of you guys follow me on social media. You guys know how I feel about everything, but I kind of just wanted to mention what some of the players did in this moment. So the Timberwolves and Nets game was postponed, as well as the Twins and Reds game, both on Monday. And Aaron Hicks, who actually plays for the Yankees, he decided to sit out that day and take a mental health day in order to, gather his thoughts and feel how he's going to feel and just express his emotions without having to worry about playing his sport. This is transferring into my silver lining of the week because as somebody who's been in sports and loves sports for a long, long time, this is such a dope moment to see that these players are taking their mental health and their physical health into account in these moments. All the way from, the NFL players deciding that they're not going to do OTAs because they care about their physical well-being and they don't want to be put at risk, to these other players in basketball and baseball deciding that they, need to postpone this game or sit out the game because they have a lot that's going through their heads. So honestly, that is a silver lining because I love these players now are getting the room and vulnerability to be able to do these things. I know it's kind of controversial when Kyrie Irving did it a couple months ago, but I love to see it now trickling down into other players that are now taking these moments and being like, wait, I need to sit back and I need to process this. I cannot go out and play for you guys tonight, even though I love this sport and I love the fans and I love my team. So that is the silver lining for the week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Run It Back with Britt. I'm your host, Britt Johnson. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Let me know your thoughts about the episode this week, and I will see you guys next time.